Permanent tissues in plants. 3.2.4. Observing a stem section. Examine a transverse section, TS, of a root, stem, or a vertical section, VS, of a leaf under a microscope. The TS of a sunflower stem, figure 3.7, shows different groups of cells, each specialized for a specific function. These are permanent tissues. Explanation. If you look at a thin cross-section, TS, of a sunflower stem under a microscope, figure 3.7, you see the cells are not all the same. They come in different shapes and sizes, grouped into different tissues. Each group is a permanent tissue specialized for a particular function. Simple versus complex permanent tissues. Permanent tissues can be simple, composed of only one type of cell, or complex, composed of more than one type of cell. Explanation. Permanent tissues come in two kinds: simple, made of only one type of cell, and complex, made of more than one type of cell working together. This basic split helps you sort every plant tissue that follows. 1. Protective tissue. Epidermis. Structure. The epidermis is the outermost layer of the plant body, a tightly packed single layer of flat rectangular cells. It protects all parts of the plant from mechanical injury, water loss, harmful microorganisms, and extreme environmental conditions. Explanation. The epidermis is the outermost layer of the plant, usually a single layer of flat, rectangular, tightly packed cells. Like our skin, it covers the whole plant and protects it from mechanical injury, water loss, harmful microbes, and harsh weather. Epidermis, cuticle. Epidermal cells are covered by a waxy layer of cutin called the cuticle. In plants of very dry habitats, a thick cuticle reduces water loss by transpiration and protects against mechanical injury and parasites. Explanation. The epidermis is coated with a waxy layer of cutin called the cuticle. It acts like a waterproof raincoat that cuts water loss, transpiration, and guards against injury and parasites. In dry desert plants, the cuticle is extra thick to save as much water as possible. Epidermis, root hair and stomata. Hair-like projections arise from epidermal cells. In roots, these are root hair, increasing surface area for water and mineral absorption. In leaves, the epidermis has pores called stomata for gaseous exchange and transpiration, evaporation of water vapor. Transpiration creates a transpiration pull in the xylem and helps remove wastes. Explanation. The epidermis grows hair-like extensions for special jobs. In roots, these are root hairs, which increase surface area to absorb water and minerals. In leaves, the epidermis has tiny pores called stomata that allow gas exchange and transpiration, water vapor escaping. Transpiration also creates a pull that helps lift water up the xylem and removes some wastes. 2. Supporting tissue, the three simple permanent tissues. Supporting tissues answer, what keeps a plant upright? Why does a fresh twig bend but a dry twig break? Why are seed coats hard? How do aquatic plants float? There are three simple permanent supporting tissues: parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Explanation. Supporting tissues answer everyday questions. What keeps a plant upright? Why a fresh twig bends but a dry one breaks? Why seed coats are hard? And how water plants float. Three simple, permanent, supporting tissues do these jobs: parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma, each giving a different kind of strength or flexibility. Parenchyma. Parenchyma, living cells with thin walls, loosely packed with intercellular spaces. It mainly stores food and also performs photosynthesis in green parts. In aquatic plants, specialized parenchyma forms air spaces that help them float. Explanation. Parenchyma is made of living cells with thin walls, loosely packed with spaces between them. It is the plant's soft, all-purpose filler that mainly stores food, and in green parts it does photosynthesis. In water plants, special parenchyma holds air spaces that help the plant float. Parenchyma. Parenchyma, living cells with unevenly thickened corners due to pectin deposition, which gives rubber-like flexibility. It provides support and flexibility, letting stems and tendrils bend without breaking. Explanation. Parenchyma is made of living cells with corners unevenly thickened by pectin. Pectin gives a rubber-like flexibility, so this tissue provides support with bendiness. It lets parts like young stems and tendrils bend without breaking. Sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma, cells with thick walls due to lignin, making them hard and strong, forms woody structure. Most of these cells are dead, found in stems, leaf veins, and hard coverings of seeds and nuts, for example, coconut husk, walnut shell. Explanation. Sclerenchyma has thick walls hardened by lignin, making the cells hard and strong. Most of these cells are dead. It gives the plant its woody strength and is found in stems, leaf veins, and hard coverings of seeds and nuts, like a tough coconut husk or walnut shell. Three, conducting tissues. Complex, permanent tissues. How does water reach the leaves of tall trees? How does food from leaves reach other parts? Plants have specialized conducting tissues, xylem and phloem, together called complex, permanent tissues because they are made of different cell types working together. Explanation. How does water reach the top of a tall tree? And how does food made in leaves reach the rest of the plant? Through the conducting tissues, xylem and phloem. They are called complex permanent tissues because each is a team of several different cell types working together to transport substances. Xylem. Xylem transports water and minerals from roots to other parts and also gives strength. It consists of tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fibers. Tracheids and vessels are tubular and thick-walled. Xylem parenchyma is the only living component. Tracheids, vessels, and fibers are primarily sclerenchymatous. Explanation. Xylem carries water and minerals from the roots upward and also strengthens the plant. It has 4 parts: tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fibers. Tracheids and vessels are tubular and thick-walled pipes. Xylem parenchyma is the only living part, while the rest are mostly dead and sclerenchyma-like. Phloem, sieve tubes. Unlike xylem, phloem is mostly living cells. It consists of sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. Long, tubular cells joined end-to-end by perforated walls form sieve tubes, which transport food from leaves to other parts. Explanation. Phloem carries food from the leaves to the rest of the plant and, unlike xylem, is mostly made of living cells. Its parts are sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. The sieve tubes are long cells joined end-to-end by perforated sieve walls that act as the food-carrying pipes. Companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and fibers. Companion cells are specialized parenchyma cells that regulate the sieve tube cells and monitor loading and unloading of sugars. Phloem parenchyma stores food materials, resin, tannins, and latex. Phloem fibers are primarily sclerenchymatous and provide strength. Explanation. Each phloem cell has a clear role. Companion cells are special parenchyma cells that control the sieve tubes and manage the loading and unloading of sugars. Phloem parenchyma stores food, resin, tannins, and latex. Phloem fibers are sclerenchyma-like and give the tissue strength. Portion 38. Tissue systems in plants. Tissues do not work alone. They are organized into 3 tissue systems. 1. Dirtal tissue system. Outer covering. Protects inner parts and reduces water loss. 2. Ghana ground tissue system. Main body between dermal and conducting tissues. Includes parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. 3. Elam vascular tissue system. Conducting tissues, xylem and phloem. Explanation. Tissues don't work alone. They are grouped into 3 tissue systems. The dermal tissue system is the outer covering, protects and reduces water loss. The ground tissue system is the main filling body, parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. The vascular tissue system is the transport network, xylem and phloem. Meet a scientist, B.G.L. Swami. B.G.L. Swami was a renowned Indian botanist known for contributions to plant morphology and anatomy. His Kannada book, Hasuru Honu, a blend of science, satire, and culture, describes botanical excursions in the Western Ghats and won the Kendra Sahitya Akademi Award in 1978. Explanation. B.G.L. Swami was a famous Indian botanist who studied plant morphology and anatomy. His Kannada book, Hasuru Honu, mixes science, satire, and culture, describing plants of the Western Ghats, and it won the Kendra Sahitya Akademi Award, 1978, showing that plant science connects with our culture and literature. Pause and ponder. Plants. Discuss these. Machine coconut husk fibers hard and brittle, while coriander leaf stalks are soft and flexible. Elam. Why is a thick cuticle advantageous for a desert plant, but disadvantageous for an underwater plant? Once water is absorbed, it travels up against gravity through xylem. How do dead xylem cells work with living leaf cells to keep water moving? Mistakenly, there were no stomata in the epidermis of stems or leaves. Explanation. These pause and ponder questions make you apply what you learned. Why coconut husk is hard but coriander stalks are soft, sclerenchyma versus collenchyma. Why a thick cuticle helps a desert plant but hurts a water plant. How dead xylem still moves water, and what happens with no stomata. Great for discussion and short answers.